What are signs that a friendship is turning toxic? Having doubts about the relationship being toxic is usually a pretty good darn sign. When they start using poison attacks, a person not enjoying the friendship but feeling obligated to stay. When they ask for favors but never return them, you might be in a toxic relationship. When they expect you to listen to their suggestions, but refuse to acknowledge yours, you might be in a toxic relationship. When they tell you lies constantly, and laugh when you find out, you know that one doesn't need the second part. You're definitely in a toxic relationship. When you walk on eggshells constantly because you're afraid of saying the wrong thing, you might be in a toxic relationship. When you're the only one working on the relationship, and feeling nothing in return, you might be in a toxic relationship. When you're not allowed to make mistakes, but they make them all the time and get mad when you point them out, you might be in a toxic relationship. Or when you can't seem to do anything right and are constantly judged unfairly by them, you might be in a toxic relationship. When your problems are ignored, belittled and dismissed, you might be in a toxic relationship. When they mock you, belittle you, or generally disrespect you, you might be in a toxic relationship. If you can't be yourself out of fear of how they'll act towards you, you might be in a toxic relationship. When every day is a new challenge, marred and underpinned by frustrating conversations and incessant negativity, you might be in a toxic relationship. I've spent a lot of time in and around toxic relationships, and I allowed people to undermine my existence for far too long. Self-respect and confidence set me free. Hope this helped. When they only contact you for favors, they continue to put you down. They become too busy when you want to hang out but expect you to drop what you are doing for them. They don't care for your feelings. It's always how they feel. You can't trust them with anything because they will judge you harshly, or they will spread your secrets to others for amusement. They treat you like you are beneath them, monsieur. When you always feel worse after hanging out with them instead of feeling better, the same. You feel drained after interacting with them, monsieur. I had a friend like this and we had a big argument, thankfully, which I used as my reason for not speaking to him again. When you dread seeing them or dread thinking of them, monsieur, boundary violations, asking inappropriate things, or using you beyond your means. When they're always playing the victim and blaming you for their mistakes. If you are constantly thinking about what this friend may think and then altering your behavior to satisfy them, monsieur. I do that to almost everybody. I think that's just a me problem. True story. I've dealt all my life with the fear and anxiety of not being enough for people. And I have hanged out with toxic persons. Being around these people made me realize I had hit rock bottom, monsieur. I got to the point where I was scared to tell my own opinions and truly show who I was. And it's not the right thing to do. It was the fear of being humiliated or the weird one in the group that stopped me. In retrospect, I lost a lot of energy and time on the wrong persons when I had better people by my side, but was scared of being a burden to them. And I lost many chances of strength in relationships because of this. If you ever feel the need to lie or to be another person just to be around some friends, don't. You end up repressing yourself, and it is a very sad feeling. Stay with those who make you feel as pure as possible. When the only interaction with them is totally one-sided, their plans, their issues, they're not interested in hearing the same from you. They don't actually seem to care for your well-being. Things seem one-sided. When they gossip about other friends to you, they're probably gossiping about you to their other friends, getting too comfortable with insulting you. Me and my friend are like that, but it's playful insulting. Once in a while, when we are both mad at something, doesn't matter what, we ask the other if we can have an insulting contest. If the other agrees, then we insult the heck out of each other. It's fun to blow off steam like that, especially when you aren't hurting someone's feelings too much. If hanging out with them is a chore and you feel an obligation to do it because of subtle guilt, tripping and not actual enjoyment. Basically, if their entire happiness depends on you so much that if you have to cancel for a legitimate reason, and they get upset, even though they cancel all the time and you never do, it's fucking weird and unhealthy. Competition, it can go from friendly to unhealthy very quickly. When it feels like work to have the friendship, or is mostly painful, but the reason you stick with it is fear of losing the relationship. Or when the other person does things which only serve their interests and completely violate your well-being. Repeatedly. When they choose their significant other over you, to the point of letting that so be derogatory with you, and they don't offer you the loyalty of setting boundaries with their partner about it. When you ask them for some sort of emotional support and they blow you off more than once. When girls approach you and he's bringing you down even though he's already in a relationship. Ho ho, you're approaching him? He can't roast the shit out of him if he doesn't get closer. When your Minecraft girlfriend spawns in your friend's bed. I'm so sorry if this has happened to you before. No one should experience this level of betrayal. Feeling nervous or having trepidation before spending time with the monsieur. I feel nervous the moment I step outside. They get mad when you aren't free to hang out sometimes and they start being self-destructive. Because of it, when you ask to see them, their reply is one of two things. I have plans. I have to see if I'm not gonna have plans. Yeah, cool bro. I love the fact that if nothing pops up, then we can meet up. Fuck you man. They try to one-up you, or turn everything into a pissing match. That's super annoying. Happened to my girl. She bought a Gucci purse and her friend goes the next day and buys one twice as expensive. Then flaunts it around. I was like, passive aggressiveness. Dreading spending time with them, then feeling drained afterwards. Recently had a heartbreaking revaluation about a friendship when someone suggested that a relationship is becoming toxic when you are putting in more for them than they are for themselves. When we start feeling shit around them but can't quite place why. Oh, I've been in quite a lot of toxic friendships. I can list a few things off. 1. Controlling. You constantly feel controlled by the person and you have the feeling you can't say no to them or else they'll hurt you or something like that. 2. Is only nice to you when they need favors. 3. Uses you for popularity by constantly putting you down. 4. This is connected to point 1. They will make you seem like a terrible person so no one wants to be friends with you, therefore allowing them to be controlling and threaten to break the friendship if you say no. 5. Eventually when they think you are no longer useful to them, they will simply replace you. 6. They don't respect you as a person. You're just another minion of theirs. 7. Never returns favors. They will say, I'll pay you back, but never do so, to then later say something super stupid like, I'm paying you back by being friends with you since nobody wants to be friends with you. Related to point 2 and 4. 8. Toxic friendships may later become bullying. After effects. This is what I experience. May differ for people. 1. Trust issues. Can't trust someone completely even after 2+ years of friendship due to fear of getting back stabbed. 2. Social anxiety due to the false claims your old friends made up just so they could control you. 3. Issues with saying no due to fear of losing friends. 4. Becoming super insecure about own appearance, personality, whatever the old friends made fun of about you. If I ever planned or did anything without her, even while she lived multiple states away, she added it to a laundry list of grievances she had with me. One day I was invited last minute on an impromptu drive to NYC for lunch with some coworkers. She saw me tagged in a check-in at the restaurant. That was the last straw. Note, at the time she was 100 miles away. Lol. That evening, my phone exploded with a text message so long it took 3 screens of scrolling to get through it all. I had been called out for every little trip, adding, etc., that she had caught me doing without her. She ended the manuscript with "I'm stepping away from the friendship" or something like that. My very short reply was essentially, "Okay." The next hour was spent with her bawling on the phone about how awful I was for letting our friendship go so easily. How not fighting to keep it was tearing her apart. "Don't you think about me when you plan things? Don't you think about me when I'm not around? Don't you care about how I might feel if you don't include me?" Quote. That was the moment of clarity I needed. I didn't. Not anymore. No. Click asterisk. I felt such a relief after that. I guess that's a sign it was a toxic friendship. She sounded like she relies too much on knowing that other people think of her. What's that called? Peer-based validation? Thank you so much for watching and have a good day.